9-game homestand after a huge weekend on the road. Purdue sweeping Rutgers. Kyle Charters with SID Ben Turner and the head baseball coach Greg Goff on This Week in Purdue Baseball, presented by Birck Boilermaker Golf Complex. Coach, it was a great weekend. I mean, just being able to go on the road, and win a series is impressive. To be able to go on the road against Rutgers, a team that has been, since the start of 2022, excellent at home, is just really impressive.
It really was. I thought our guys did a tremendous job, Kyle. And, I hate to say it, but your brother trumped you this weekend. I think he's 7-1 on the road, and, he's, big brother now, I guess. But, no, it was great to see our guys get over there and really play well from all aspects, from the pitching to the defense to some really, really big-time, timely, and situational hitting this weekend.
Yeah, I'll have to wear that one. Drew occasionally goes on the road in my place and has had a good record this year, and I think that maybe I'm getting kicked to the curb, deservedly so perhaps. Yeah, I mean, especially, to be able to, and we've talked about this throughout this year, your team's ability, I think, to come back when things go bad. And, in baseball, 9-inning games, 3-game series, 5 games a week potentially. There are moments where things go poorly for your team, for the other team, for every team that plays. But your team's ability to bounce back, especially on Friday night when it looks like you're rolling to a victory. Rutgers ends up coming back and getting the game tied. You get a double play from Aaron Suval, who will be our player guest for today, that gets the game into extra innings. But to be able to then recover from that and pick up a Friday night road victory in extra innings, just pretty impressive.
It was, again, Rutgers is a really, really talented team, and really talented and really tough to beat at home. Kyle, you look at their home record over the last few years. Coach Owens is a tremendous coach and has made a huge impact on their program. And, I was just so proud of our guys. The moment never got too big for them. Mm-hmm. And, to have Aaron come in there and get the 2-0 slider in the strike zone to get the double play. Then we come right back and scored a couple of runs without any hits. Yeah. Kyle, I think that was pretty impressive. And then, on Saturday, Cascanet comes up with the 3-1 home run, 3-1 fastball that he hit out for a 3-run home run to take the lead there in the ninth. So it was a big weekend for us, for sure.
Yeah. That momentum swing that you touched on briefly just now, to carry over the double play momentum into the 10th inning and be patient.
Right.
They had a guy come out of the bullpen who could not throw strikes, and you didn't even need a hit to score 2 runs.
Right.
We've talked about the ability to score without hits as needed sometimes, but just that momentum to ride it into the next inning. The dugout was so alive at that point. That had to be an amazing feeling for you as a coach.
It was, Ben. I'm getting kind of chills you talking about it, because a lot of teams will just roll over. Hey, we just lost the lead again. Here we go again. But our guys were just so resilient. They said, no, this is not the way we're going to go. And our dugout, I thought, just was tremendous. The energy and the motivation from our team was like, hey, let's do this. And so it did, and then, Joe gets the big, hit by pitch there with bases loaded, 0-2 count, that he decided to, wear that pitch and create some offense for us. So, again, I think it's just a tremendous team win this weekend.
Connor Cascanet, the big swing Saturday in the 9th inning, works himself into a 3-1 count. Rutgers has its closer on the mound. Fastball coming.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. And, man, he barreled it up in a big way.
He did.
I think we had to go back about a decade for the last truly similar setting, go-ahead home run on the ninth on the road in the ninth like that. Man, big swing.
Big swing. But, again, everybody don't see all the hard work that Connor has put in, how he's transformed his body, how he's continued to work hard. He texts me or sends me pictures all the time. Him and Joe and those guys are in the cages at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Those are the things that people don't understand. But when the moment comes and you're prepared like that, good things happen. And I just try to encourage our players to continue to do those types of things. All Americans are made when nobody's watching. And, for our guys to continue to have what I call winning habits, getting in the cages, even though we're having some success, continuing to do those things behind the scenes, I think will give us an opportunity to be prepared in those moments.
Mike Bolton Jr. had gone through a little bit of a mini slump, was doing some good things for you, just wasn't, getting the ball in the gaps, but came through this weekend with some really timely hits in the late innings on Friday and Sunday.
Yep.
And those are big hits. Gave your team a little bit of cushion.
Huge, Kyle. I thought they were huge. Anytime you can get that 1 to 2, you have a 1-run lead and you get to that, 2 or 3 run lead, it just makes a huge difference. You're not so consumed with the leadoff hitter and things of that nature. The pressure is not as much. And so I thought Mike had some really big at-bats and some big moments this weekend. And hopefully we'll, continue to, carry that through.
Jordan Morales on Friday, and then Jonathan Blackwell on Sunday. Blackwell was outstanding.
Yeah.
I thought his best start of the season. He's been a guy who's been able to give you innings and maybe get twice through the order, but this time you got that third time through the order, extended it out, shortened your bullpen a little bit, which on Sundays is always a big deal.
Right.
But for him to get through 6 innings like that was just impressive to do against that Rutgers team.
It was, especially as their backs were against the wall, and we always talk about good teams don't get swept. And I know Coach Owens, they were out in the outfield after we'd already got on the bus and was leaving. I mean, I know he challenged those guys, and for Jonathan to come in and just completely dominated. We had 1 3-ball count in 27 outs. Just continued to just throw the fastball on both sides of the plate. And then he got into a groove and started spinning the breaking ball and the changeup and got some quick outs on those pitches. And so just tremendous outing for Jonathan. And again, that's what it takes, right? You're only as good as your starting pitching. And, we've seen it in our offense. If we can just put some zeros up early, man, we're a lot of fun to watch when we're playing downhill.
Yeah.
And Jordan Morales set the tone Friday in a pitcher's duel with the lefty for Rutgers. It was his return to the East Coast as a Philly guy. I know he had a lot of friends and family in attendance. He wanted to perform well, and, man, did he in a big way. And to bounce back from a rough outing at Ohio State as well.
He did, and I thought Jordan was really locked in and just set the tone for the whole weekend. I mean, their lefty is, again, this league is filled up with some MLB prospects. I mean, the guys we have faced in the first 3 weekends, those guys will be pitching in the big leagues. And so for him to match up with him and stay out there, and it's hard when it's 0-0 and your team's not scoring. But I thought he just did a tremendous job for us, those I don't know what they called him, but I know his family brought some pizza, some kind of pizza stuff up there, pretzels up there. We got a little taste of that jersey, and boy, it was fantastic after that game, I tell you that.
38 ground ball outs in the series. Rutgers swings early, and they don't strike out much. But it worked because especially your left side of the infield, throw in your couple second basemen as well.
Yeah.
The combination of Gasser, Stevens, Green, Gill, etc., they were ready.
Yeah.
And pitching to contact worked against Rutgers' second year in a row.
It did. And that's what we base our pitching on, is pitching to contact, trying to get those guys out in 3 to 4 pitches. And, you got to get the ball down in the zone. And our guys, I thought, were able to establish the fastballs down and the changeup and breaking balls. And, man, I tell you what, our defense, starting with Cam Gasser, and Ty and Tommy and Joe, and even Luke over at first base. We, had some tremendous plays. But those guys have been phenomenal being so far this year defensively.
Aaron Suval, who we'll talk to here in just a couple of minutes, just a great weekend, pitching on Friday night and getting that game into extra innings and giving your team a chance, and then coming back on Sunday and picking up the 3-inning save. He sort of has found that groove again that he was in during his good moments last year.
He has, Kyle, and he's got good stuff. And, again, it just starts with the mentality. I remember, you see how we get off the bus and all of our players come off, we give them 5. And I just asked him, I said, hey, man, you got any bullets in you today? And he goes, Coach, I feel great. Half the battle is mentality and wanting the ball and wanting to be out there for his teammates. And I think that's the greatest thing that I've seen with this group of guys is that they're just so unselfish. They're so consumed with our team and the guys beside them instead of themselves. And that just makes it for a magical opportunity, and I think that's what happened this weekend.
So 5-4 through the first 3 weekends. Now we know in the Big Ten there's a lot of parity, so no real time to breathe here. But you had a difficult first 3 weekends with league favorite Iowa, on the road a couple of weekends in a row against Ohio State and Rutgers. I think 5-4 is a good place to be, especially you had those 2 rough Saturdays in a row and were 1-4 at one point in the Big Ten. To be able to rally back is certainly positive. You have to like where you sit at 5-4, having come through that difficult stretch.
Well, whenever you go, you play the team that's picked to win it, and the team that's picked to finish second in Rutgers. I think anytime you're in a situation where we've, been able to, you're only as good as your last games. For me, going on the bus on Thursday, but I told our players, Thursday night, like, hey guys, just because the first 2 weekends haven't gone exactly the way we want to, we're still our expectation of this program is to play for a championship, is to play for first place. And I just wanted to make sure those guys understood that, hey, this is our goal, is to win a championship and play for a Big Ten championship. And so I think those guys really understood that. I thought they really responded. And, again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I think this team is starting to gel. And we'll have a tough matchup this weekend with Michigan State. They have a really good pitching staff. They play good defense, and they got some really good hitters.
Yeah, Michigan State, another team that's right there with everybody else,
Yep.
right? I think a 500 record
Yep.
In the Big Ten, and at this point in the season, and it happens every year, everything is bunched up.
It always is.
You've put yourself in a position where the leaders in the Big Ten are right there, but man, you sort of can't take anybody for granted, including the Spartans this weekend.
No doubt, Coach really does a good job up there. I got a great relationship with Jake, and I have a lot of respect for him, and he's been doing this for a long time in this league, and he's a really good coach, and they're a really good team, and it'll be a really good challenge this weekend. But we got him here, we got him at our house,
Yeah.
And Alexander, we play pretty well there, so it should be an exciting weekend.
Yeah, should be a great one. Weather looks like it'll be okay for this weekend. Hopefully, we'll have big crowds there starting on Friday against Michigan State. Coach, thank you as always.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with Aaron Suval. This is This Week in Purdue Baseball. Tee up for excitement at Ackerman Allen Course. Birck Boilermaker Golf Complex. We're officially open for the season. Hear your tee time now at PurdueGolf.com. Welcome back to This Week in Purdue Baseball. Happy to be joined by senior reliever Aaron Suval, coming off quite the excellent weekend at Rutgers as Purdue swept the Scarlet Knights. It was a good one. You pitched in 2 games. You got the victory, got out of a real jam on Friday night, then came in on Sunday to get the save. Man, you got to love those pressure situations, especially when it works out for your team, and you were able to get the ground ball to get the game to extra innings on Friday and really set the tone for the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I was super antsy to pitch the whole weekend, and so getting the ball in that situation, bases loaded, like 1 out, and I need to get a double play. I was like, I wanted to get the ball, and I made the most of my opportunity, so I was extremely happy with the outcome.
Was it a 2-0 slider that you ended up getting the double play grounder on, and sort of take us through that pitch? That's you got to make your pitch in that situation with the bases loaded. You don't want to go to 3-0 and risk the tying run coming across on the walk, but you got to make the pitch, and you did.
Yeah. No, getting 2-0 definitely did not help me, but I got the slider call and I got it in there, so it worked out. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Pitching backwards, we hear that sometimes, 2-0 slider is not what the hitter's expecting. So that's to your advantage, I suppose. As a relief pitcher, pressure is just part of the deal, right? But you can't expect a game-sealing, game-saving double play like that, at least not from a realistic point of view. Obviously, it's great that it happened that way. And I'm trying to phrase this the right way, I guess, but was there almost less pressure because it was so dire? That's as rough as it gets. Bases loaded, 1 out, game tied. They'd already tied it up. You can't expect you to get at that point, and yet you did. Did you have less pressure on yourself personally?
I say for me, not really. I kind of never try to put pressure on myself because I feel like if I do that, nothing good is going to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. From an outside point of view, definitely there was a lot of pressure on me. But from first-hand point of view, I tried to not put any pressure on myself. I didn't think about it like that. I just I tried to get the double play and it worked out.
So give us a little bit of insight. What's it like then in the top of the 10th inning, which was a long top of the 10th based on all the walks and stuff like that, knowing you got to go back out there and, hey, let's not do this all over again. Let's get out of here with this W.
Yeah. We had a meeting, everyone got together. What I did in the top of the 10th was I kind of was just breathing, trying not to think, because the more I think, the worse I do. So I kind of just sat there. I was breathing, just I'm doing a little breathing exercise. So when I got out there again, there was no pressure on me, and I was just trying to make my pitches.
You pitched to that big spot on Friday and then come back out on Sunday. What's your mindset in pitching twice over a weekend? It's got to be a difficult thing because you got to take some recovery time then on Saturday to get back out there again, especially a little bit longer appearance than on Sunday.
Yeah. I kind of I had a feeling I was going to pitch again because I didn't throw too much on Friday.
Yeah.
I recovered a lot on Friday after the game and then on Saturday as well. So I was ready to go on Sunday. kind of just waiting for my time. But yeah, no, I mean, I was just ready to go. I was just like, I wanted to pitch. I was ready to pitch, so it worked out.
What's it like being a big part of a weekend sweep on the road? I mean, your team has come through these first 3 weekends with a 5-4 record, won 4 Big Ten games in a row. I mean, it's got to be quite a fun road trip when you go 3-0 against a Big Ten opponent, and it makes you feel like we're right here in the hunt still for the Big Ten.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the sweep was amazing. Like, we needed it, and like we got it. I mean, there's really no better feeling. Just like, and then like the road trip home, like everyone was really happy. But yeah, no, the sweep was amazing. And I think we're going into this next series. Like, we have a lot of momentum. So like for us, we just got to like build on that, carry that momentum into this next series.
Yeah.
Second year in a row, you and Jonathan Blackwell have teamed up for a win against Rutgers. This year was a 9-out save. Last year, 11-out save at Alexander. Do you feel like you two complement each other well, that when you come in after him, that's going to be tough on the opposing hitters?
I mean, definitely, but also just like JB going out there, like six innings, like 1 run. I mean, he did an amazing job. So just like coming in after any pitcher who can do that, it's better. I mean, it sets me up better, like puts me in a great situation. So I mean, it's, but yeah, I mean, complimenting JB for sure. Like, I think it's definitely tough for the hitters.
How much has the bullpen thought about this? It's very unique and rare, at least here at Purdue, to have 3 left-handed starting pitchers in a Big Ten weekend.
Yeah.
The bullpen, except for Cal Lambert, Easton Story, a couple guys out there, but primarily the main guys, you, JD, Avery Cook, Dorn, right-handers. So you got a lefty starting rotation, a right-handed bullpen. How do those 2 things work together well?
Honestly, I don't even know. I have no idea.
Just throw strikes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just throw strikes. But
He just told you he tries not to think. So he goes out there, throw strikes.
Yeah, I didn't even like think about that. I'm not gonna lie, but that's I mean, just throw strikes.
Kyle and I have more time to think about such things. So I hear you. Symbolize it, and the results follow.
Yeah.
You've really found your groove here over the last month. It seems sort of similar to that rhythm you got in last season. Are you feeling pretty good?
Yeah, not feeling really good. I had a pretty rough start in the beginning of the year, but once I just like figured everything out, I mean, it's been going really good. So I'm happy with my performance. I mean, I'm ready to go.
Ben mentioned Dorn earlier. Carter has been excellent here during the Big Ten. I mean, he's really stepped up and pitched in some really big spots. Added another guy that I think Greg Goff trusts out there in the bullpen. How much does that help you guys? I mean, 3-game series are long series. The bullpen is really relied upon, but you have a number of guys out there who it seems like can come through in some clutch spots, Dorn included.
100%. No, Dorn balled out. I mean, he's been balling out. And I feel like that's the same with all of our pitchers. Like, even some of the guys who haven't picked up a ball a lot recently.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you could put any one of our bullpen guys out there and you could trust them, and they're going to give you a good performance. And they're going to give you more than 1 inning, too, like any of them. So just like having that trust in any of your pitchers, Dorn included, it's amazing. It's awesome.
What did the staff think of Jordan Morales doing what he did on a Friday night with that many friends and family in attendance? And did the Philly fanatic in him come out as far as wanting to perform well in Jersey?
Yeah, no, that was awesome. I feel like everyone knew it was going to happen, too, like have his family and friends out there. So, I mean, that was awesome. And, yeah, no, JMO's just a dog. He's a dog. That was awesome.
The impact of Josh Newman, somebody that Morales is very familiar with. The rest of you guys have gotten to know better this year. We've heard it from both a starting pitcher and reliever point of view over the last few weeks about what Newman has brought to the table. How has he helped you guys in your point of view?
In my point of view, Newman's helped out, I mean, in a lot of ways. I mean, just bringing knowledge. Like, he's been in the MLB. He's pitched in the MLB. So bringing that knowledge over here, kind of, giving us an idea of what we need to do. And, like, he helps us not only, like, have a better approach on the mound, like throwing strikes and, like, mentally, but, like, he helps us with, like, grips and stuff we didn't really think about last year, like, kind of the other team stealing our pitches, which has happened a lot this year. He's helped us kind of figure out, how to fix that. And, like, even it wasn't this weekend against Rutgers, but the weekend before against Ohio State. There's one inning where they picked up on my signs and kind of like in the game he told me like they're stealing your signs, and then so I fixed it, and then I started pitching better after that.
Wow.
It's interesting that you bring that up because against Penn State last year, there were a couple instances that we heard, maybe Friday against Cal Steven, and then the first inning Saturday against Jonathan Blackwell, that supposedly they had the pitches, and once they didn't, it changed dramatically. So the fact that he was in their dugout in those instances, and now is on our team, I'm not surprised to hear you say that. We close out the player segment with what we call personal preferences. You are the first time we've had a player on 2 years in a row, so we made sure we took out the ones you did last year. So that gives us a list between 1 and 10 this year. So you can't pick your number, but you still got 10 to choose from. So there are no wrong answers, as I always say. Just trying to learn more about you.
Okay. I'll go 7.
7. Favorite big city?
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Your home. It's
gotta go there.
Are you a Valley guy originally? San Fernando Valley?
Yeah. San Fernando Valley.
Okay, so between 1 and 10, don't pick 7.
4.
4. Favorite video game or video game system?
Favorite video game at the moment, definitely MLB The Show. It just came out, and I played on PS4.
Okay, do you have a favorite team? Do you build your own team? How?
Build your own team. We also do a franchise. We have a couple people in our league, like on the baseball team, and we're in this like franchise league. So I'm the Dodgers, Chambers the Phillies. You know, there's a lot of us.
Nice.
Yeah.
I bet you there's some big rivalry moments in that.
Oh yeah.
All right, between 1 and 10, don't pick 4, don't pick 7.
2.
2. Current teammate with the best baseball instincts. Couple shout-outs if you want. It's your question, so we'll let you go anyway with it. Maybe give us a hitter and a pitcher. Up to you.
That's hard. That's really hard. For a hitter, I'll go Joe Stevens, I guess.
Yeah.
I think he always has a really good approach. Like, the way he thinks about the game is really good.
Sure, and he put on a show yet again at third base against the Rutgers team that was happy to just hit ground ball after ground ball all weekend.
Yeah, it's awesome having Joe at third base.
And, that was one of the first things we noticed about him last year was the base running instincts are just elite. And, he's brought a lot to the table.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If you want to do a pitcher, you can, but or just shout-outs in general for somebody who deserves some love here on This Week in Purdue Baseball.
Cal Lambert. I'll give it to Cal Lambert.
Yeah.
When he gets the ball, like the whole entire mojo of the game changes. Gives us like a ton of momentum. So I'm going to give it to Lambo.
Cool. It's been a big week for Purdue athletics this week, obviously, with the men's basketball team run to the national championship. Sort of has galvanized, I think, the athletic community around here. Just what were your, the team's thoughts on their run and, come up a game short against a very good UConn team, obviously, but it was a heck of a performance. You guys sort of take anything away from that?
Matt Painter talked to us last year too, which was awesome. But it's just cool to have like a basketball team just like go that far.
Yeah.
I don't know, taking away anything from them, I wouldn't say I really have, but it's just cool to see Purdue basketball do that good. Yeah. And we're all rooting for them too.
Yeah.
And all the energy that it generated among sports fans and in the Purdue community in general. It's hard to – you can't buy that type of thing. You can't replicate it,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Should be a big weekend this weekend. Weather looks like it'll be nice. Michigan State coming into town. Should be some great crowds, and hopefully, we can continue some of that energy. What do you anticipate this weekend? Sort of have to do to try to keep it rolling.
As a team, we talk about 4 things that we always try to do. It's like timely hitting, situational hitting, pitching, and then defense. Our defense has been amazing the whole year, so we're going to keep that up. Pitching, we've been pitching really good, so just kind of building off that, like how we did this weekend, and then just hitting. So, just doing those 3 things is just going to be key for us.
Well, best of luck this weekend. We'll be watching.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Aaron.
Appreciate it.
All right, that'll do it for this week. Back again next week as we talk a little bit more Boilermaker baseball for Ben Turner. I'm Kyle Charters. Thanks to Greg Goff and Aaron Suval for This Week in Purdue Baseball, presented by Birck Boilermaker.